not saying you don't help, but you think it's 50-50? Explain.
I mean, okay.
I would unironically say I'm probably one of the best husbands on planet Earth.
You're a very good husband.
No. I wouldn't say very good. I would say one of the best.
I'm just saying, like, you carry in social aspects, I carry in the back-end tech stuff. And I feel like together we make a good team.
But marriage, dude, I am the conflict resolution god.
Yeah, you are.
100%.
No, 100% you are.
I am the greatest shoulder to cry on. I am the greatest console.
Oh my, dude, why does he act his stream persona in front of his wife? God, that's so cringe. It's like this is his stream persona, by the way. This is the way that he talks to his chat. Oh God. Foodshop, you're a very good streamer. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You're a very good mod, all right? He sounds like he could be ultra manipulative if that's his real self. I know. It's actually him, bro. Yeah, I know. That's what makes it bad. Because you shouldn't be acting like your streamer personality in front of your fucking wife. Maybe you shouldn't be acting like that. Right? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
I'm understanding everything. The romantic shit I do is crazy. Like, why are you giggling? Freem, you know beyond a shadow that I'm an incredible husband.
I never said that you weren't.
But you never said that I was.
Okay, you are an incredible husband.
How accommodating I've been is insane.
You so pretty today, meow? Okay, thank you. I appreciate
He's really channeling that inner narcissistic sassy gay man to tell his then wife that she isn't worth anything. He's the best guy ever.
How accommodating I've been is insane. Why are you not saying anything?
I'm saying, Yes, I agree. Of course.
So for like marriages and emotions and understanding and communication, I would say I do about 90% of that.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. The majority of marriage is communication.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I give you your space, you give me my space. We mutually love each other. We mutually are happy with each other. We're still each other's best friends, I hope, right?
That's a lot of assuming happening right now.
Oh, shit.
It's a lot of assuming.
When this car clip resurfaced online, Tectone went to sweep it up directly, but specifically.
There's a TikTok mom that acts like a bot, but she had to break character to be mom on stream, and I'm saying that a TikTok streamer did better than him. I'm not surprised. Like, these, you have to understand a lot of these, like, successful streamers that blew up really fast. Like, these people never really had the time to mature into a fully functioning adult. Typically, they stop mental development at wherever they began to blow up into a successful streamer. There's just no reason for them to actually mature into like an adult when you've been given everything, you know, at some point, right? And whether or not you mature yourself into like a mentally capable of adult matters not, okay? Matters not on how you become successful as a streamer, all right? So yeah.
What I find interesting is he says, quote, "We pretty much had to get a
in the
divorce
hood.
to save our friendship, which worked and was
Stupid
definitely for the
fucking voice
better.
acting.
You may not realize it yet, but this is just an outright manipulative lie by Tectone, something I will explain in more depth shortly." Tectone would further present this narrative that everything was all good on stream.
Also, you gotta understand, like, Frame doesn't like when people paint me as a fucking villain, right? Because it kind of just like decredits our entire fucking marriage, right? Like a couple of bad moments doesn't ruin 10 fucking years, you know what I mean? I just really want Frame to be able to get out of the public eye. That's all I want. Oh, and please, God, nobody clip this, please. It's just very hard for me to talk about Frame because she was my wife for a very long time, and I don't like remembering how ugly the end of our marriage got. My life's going in a great direction, and that's the only reason why it hurts. That's the only reason why it's scary. Am I gonna get canceled over this? No. You wanna know why? Because I don't have secrets. The last 2 years were really rough. It was really rough. Now the shit that I would do with Frame, the icky shit I would do with Frame, that wasn't good, right? I'm probably gonna delete this VOD after this stream. But holy dude, my friends can't even react to me without it being a hate thread. It's crazy. It's crazy. So.
Okay, I wouldn't be around this. I'm going to be totally honest, okay? I would not feel safe around this guy, okay? If Tectone ever was next to me IRL, I would not feel safe around him, okay? Like, legit, I would feel like I'm in danger around him.
After a back and forth on Twitter about Freem being free from Tectone occurred, Freem would clarify the situation with, quote, Since some think this is playful banter, it's not. We are not on good terms, by the way. But this is between me, him, and our lawyers.
Okay.
Sorry for not wanting to talk about my personal life online. Some things just shouldn't be used for content. Discord DMs were sent to Tectone and Pink of Freem posting screenshots of a bra being purchased on Amazon from Tectone's account well prior to his
What
divorce,
the
and then
fuck?
Pichu wearing it at a later date. Freem also still had access to the security cameras and posted pictures of Pinkchu coming in and out of Tectone's house. This was on a date where Freem was supposed to be with Tectone for Christmas. Because of these new
What? Wait, was he cheating? Hey, Fizz. Hello, David.
posts, Tectone and his new girlfriend would strike back at Freem viciously. Before we get into the nuclear response
Oh, no, sorry. He was not cheating, but, like, they were just, like, being stupid and fucking spiteful.
Pink and Tectone made, I want to jump ahead and let everyone know that Pink has since stated that she was used as a pawn by Tectone to attack his ex-wife, Freem, that he convinced her and told her to do everything that's about to happen.
Hey, Watch.
Regardless of
Hello.
the merit of these claims, you cannot convince me that Tectone was not aware of what his current girlfriend was about to levy at his ex-wife. Keep this in mind for what's about to come next. Tectone's current girlfriend, Pink, would post the Discord DMs of Freem and respond with, quote, "This woman is a criminal and has caused me so much anxiety and distress the last year."
Well, one of the biggest things that I find a lot of e-girls do, okay, is that what they would do is that, like, they would bash any previous girlfriend or wife that a streamer has in order to win favor with the streamer, all right? And look, I know it sounds like I'm sexist, okay? I am sexist. The thing the thing is, okay, all right, it's just like, it's just how a lot of e-girls act online, all right? Like, normal, well-adjusted women, IRL, do not act like this, okay? So, yeah. I never checked in last night, but I meant to. I like your stream lots. Also, it's pronounced Witch. Hey, Witch, welcome to the chat then. Yes. I moved my time slot up by, like, 2 hours, I think, for my stream. I think it might work better for a lot more people. So, you know, obviously, you know, I'm trying to keep that part in mind. Also, I have more justification to be loud and annoying, all right, when, you know, I start stream earlier, okay?
I needed to take a break. She spied on me with cameras, even private moments, and shared it with my colleagues and friends illegally.
I'm an actual whore online. What? It's like free to just be about it. What do you mean? Stop.
Without knowing her, she spread
Control
rumors
high.
about
Also,
me, tried to ruin my career.
Alloy is our Foodshops God, what do we call ourselves? Like, is our cat, okay?
And friendships.
Okay.
I didn't go to the police in fear of what she
Did I
would
just
do
die?
because she is completely obsessed with
Works
me
much
and is
better for me.
unhinged.
Good.
Freem would respond to Pink with, quote, "Have your lawyers reach out to mine." Tex had their info for months. Pink would then start a live stream attacking Freem and announcing she had gone to the
Foodshops
police to
cat,
press
mhm.
charges on Freem for revenge. What you're about to see was all planned, and
Destiny
Tectone
mentioned-
would actually raid Pink's stream prior to her starting.
Tectone's ex-wife has been stalking and harassing me and Tectone for over a year now. She has not left us alone. She has stalked bank statements, internet history, was spying on me when I came to visit Techie because I guess she originally was spying on Techie, and spread revenge of footage that is considered revenge.
Did your landlord hear you yesterday when you yelled start an OnlyFans? It doesn't matter. The question is, does it matter? He's probably using secret cameras to spy on me anyway. Okay? Yeah. My landlord asking me about my OF, and I was like, oh, what? What? Okay. Just to support you, OF woman, a girl's, I guess. Unapologetic to sexually liberated women, but not those who hate on other women. I am sexually liberated, but I also hate on other women, okay? This is just how it is. I think just listen. As somebody with mental issues, I understand stupid mental issues. What the fuck are these? Okay, hold on.
To people from the cameras as well. I have gone to the police. Here is a police report. I try to clear up as much as I can. I have a police report. The cops are doing.
Oh my god. Please, keep your messages one line, please. Please, for the love of God, okay? I appreciate you, but keep your messages one line. Yes.
Doing their thing. I'm not going to
Jesus.
get into the specifics about the revenge. And yes, her spreading revenge is sexual harassment if she doesn't want to believe it. I thought she was going to make the video that she took of me public. So I called her out. That was the first thing, because I was scared she was going to start a public narrative against me. She has ruined Tectone's image.
Are you starting to notice some things? Pink later said that there was no revenge. So who was telling her that there was? She also tries to run narrative for Tectone. She even brings up the divorce court papers, which I would...
Yeah, that is weird, right? It's kind of like what do you call it? It's like a coordinated stories, right? Coordinated narratives. Yeah. For every male streamer we hate, we get a free misogyny. I'm new to Tectone. Do we like? Okay, so I watched this guy. All right, I watched this guy a lot when it came to when I was on my Wuthering Waves binge. Okay, when I was playing gacha games a lot, like it's impossible to not hear about Tectone when you play gacha games like me. Okay, the problem is that I just don't know much about his personal life or how he really is when he's talking about like gacha game drama, right? So when he's actually talking about gacha game drama, he seems very fair and unbiased. But the thing is that, you know, obviously you can be away on stream, but then, you know, off stream maybe you're just actually abusive, you know, who the fuck knows. So I mean, coming off of the clips that I've seen so far, it really does seem as though that maybe there's some red flags there. But the thing is that I don't know whether or not this video maker has like clipped things up to make things look more biased than it actually is for some reason or whatever. So obviously I can't really say, right? But yeah,
I presume came from him.
The reason
know
why on
if-
Christmas Tectone canceled plans with Freem is because I was a new friend to Tectone. Tectone had talked to me about the mental abuse he went through with her. He confided in me all the abuse he was dealing with, the cheating, and how hurt he was. And I told him, I don't feel comfortable meeting her. I don't want to know this person. I feel very uncomfortable. I think you should maybe take a step back and maybe get some help and think about, you know, what has happened, because I felt bad. Like, he still had empathy for her, even after getting cheated on, even after a lot of stuff she did to him.
Remember that
No, not the empathy. Now she is dropping allegations too? Really? Oh shit, that's really bad. No, not the empathy. No, not the empathy.
the ex-wife Freem has said virtually nothing in this publicly, and the things being shown are DMs that somebody else leaked to Peak and Tectone. All of a sudden now Freem is an abuser and a revenge.
Let me also just remind people, I've never met Freem. I've never met her once in my life. I hope I never have to, okay? And that's why it's scary, because it's like this scary unknown, and I have to just deal with it. And I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to like sit around and just let somebody try to destroy my life.
Are we
She was going to do
34?
something
Oh,
much
no.
worse, so bad
does
it
that
would have
mean?
ruined all of our lives. I'm not going to say what it was that she was doing, but it was so horrific, it would have ruined all of our lives.
And the reason why Tectone went nuclear? Because his ex-wife Freem was about to make her alleged and abuse she went through from her husband Tectone public. Tectone has denied this for years, that this was even happening, by
these
the way.
guys are-
But what people aren't aware of is that
guys
legal
are tough.
documentation between Pink and Freem clearly
I'm a hater? Wow. Okay, you're the only hater I would let in chat then.
states, quote, the dispute between Freem and Tectone relates to a serious and false
Unacceptable.
allegation against Tectone. During that call, Tectone and Pinkchu learned that Freem had a Google Doc and she was planning to release it to the public. We'll get into further detail later, but it's important to realize that the attacks Pink made prior is a direct response to Tectone finding out through Pink
Okay, I'm
that
putting
Freem
both
was going
earbuds
to
in
go
now.
public with the alleged abuse she went through with Tectone. I reached out to Tectone to get his side of the story in any context I could. At first he said he was happy to answer any questions until he realized how meticulously I had gone through everything. I asked him what the allegations were that Pink mentioned were going to ruin all of their lives, not letting him know I already had the court documents proving what they were. And he lied to me. He said, quote, no allegations were going to be made against me. This was between her and another woman. Provably a lie.
It was so horrific, it would have ruined all of our lives.
Freem would respond to all this with, I'm well aware of the many lies that continue to be said about me, my relationships, and my
Oh, by the way, which one's Pink? Pink is the e-girl with the dyed hair. His ex-wife is the fatter one. Yeah.
alleged actions. As social media isn't the appropriate forum to address legal matters, I'll just say that neither I nor my attorney has heard from anyone about actually resolving this matter. I won't be commenting on this further. Pink would even run cover for how Tectone treated his wife in the car clip from earlier, explaining, oh, you don't understand. Tectone
Wait, what the fuck? Okay, you guys can't. Okay, all right, stop. Listen, I don't try to police my language like that, okay? All right, it's pretty obvious. Okay, fuck you guys.
Realized that day that his wife of 10 years had been cheating on him.
Keep this in mind. This is the day he caught her and Cruz huddling on the couch and realized she was cheating on him with Cruz, his assistant.
Which is pretty crazy, considering only 5 months later, Pink would announce that Tectone had been cheating on her.
Weird question time. Has anyone ever been cheated on? How do you react to something like that?
No, not the bottom up cam. No, not the bottom up cam.
By the way, like, is it weird? Like, I know some people are like, oh, you'll crash out or something when you learn about that, like you got cheated on. But is it weird that for me, like, I just like, oh my god, I don't have to deal with this piece of shit anymore.
Tectone, as you will see throughout, would lie to his audience in a pre-planned narrative spinning in an attempt to dissuade accusations of cheating against him.
When did you and Pink break up? Me and Pink broke up like mid-June. Do you all need proof of that or no? Are we gonna take my word for that?
Dino, I know Dino is gooning right. I know you might have to reschedule your gooning time like 2 hours earlier, or you can multitask. But don't tell us that you're actually multitasking right now, okay? That would be sexual harassment.
Do we need proof? I'm gonna do it anyways. I feel like it's important. Just because I don't want anybody to doubt what I'm saying, and I know it's a pretty serious topic people really like talking about. Yeah, once again, I want to make it very clear. No ill will towards it whatsoever as of right now. I don't really care. I mean, it was made public against my will, but I don't care. But yeah, I have a message that I sent to Jimmy on June 28th where Pink and I broke up. But yeah, it was good. Nothing bad.
Tectone for real just
right
pulled
now.
up
Well,
DMs
stop.
of his mod in him and just
Why?
had this pre-planned so that people wouldn't think he was cheating. Pink would respond posting receipts of the real breakup that was in
All I know about... I just committed suicide in the game. All I know about Tectone is that he called Frogan fat. But yeah, he got a ban for that. Jesus.
July. Please stop talking about me on stream. Stop lying. I broke up with you because I suspected you cheating on me. Stop
Yeah, she
taking
is
pot shots
fine.
at me on stream. You know, the next day we got back together, I broke up with you on July 23rd. Didn't want to be your friend with benefits on July 26th. You wouldn't even let me ride in the car with you and Sophia, and I was outside the house drunk and alone.
Ooh, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good, dude. That's not good. So, dude, Tectone is... So, it's almost as if the problem is Tectone, right? It's almost as if the problem is Tectone, right? Right?
I'm not stupid, and I suspect cheating. Just stop. It wasn't good. It was a lot of bad. Pink attached text messages to the tweet of her breaking up with Tectone, where she specifically says twice that she was scared of him.
And then she went after him.
Not wrong, okay? Not wrong. I'm just saying, okay? All right? I'm just going to say this right now. If I ever saw Tectone in real life and he asked me to share like a beer with him in private, I will be running away, okay? I will be sprinting away, okay? But then I would consider it, okay? I would just pause there and consider it because I'm like, what about the clout that comes with drinking with Tectone? What about the clout opportunities? What about all the times I can gain popularity off of drinking with a massive streamer, right? I'll consider it, okay? And I'll just flip a coin on it, okay?
His wife, and there was a whole controversy over that. She basically had protected him, defended him, and he used her constantly.
I wasn't sure.
After Tectone was caught lying, he would respond in a classic manipulative manner.
So she suspected cheating, went back, broke up, became friends with Bampus. Like, what's the point of breaking up? I have no fucking clue. Maybe they... Well, I assume it's like, if that is the case, right? If that is the case, I'm only half listening because I'm also interacting in chat and playing a video game. But like, if it is the case, okay, that you became friends with Benedict, I'm assuming it's because you no longer have any emotional attachment, right? You only viewed her for her body, and you don't really actually view her as a friend too. So yeah. Ivan Frogan size. Thank you for sharing. What if Hassan wants to drink a beer with you? Well, I would have like a pager, or I'll like have a little radio. So I would just like phone my boys. Okay, I don't have any boys. I would just like phone the cops. I got 911 on speed dial.
Quote, you ever just lie to protect someone, but they make it so hard? Aw, he's lying to protect Pink. not because he was cheating and trying to assert a public narrative. To which Pink would respond by saying, "He's not lying to protect me. He's lying because he doesn't want Sophia to know we were still together. I was told by someone else. He told her the same lie. We both know how you treated me and your ex-wife. You had her sign an NDA to keep her quiet about the abuse, and told me to specifically go over the car clip on stream, and lied to me and said it was the day you caught her cheating. But I found out later it was a lie. Just like your many lies you used to manipulate me to make you look like the victim, when she was the victim all along. She didn't even know Cruz till a month later. As shown here, this is how he treated both of us. Our friends saw it, my family saw it, and I'm glad I'm out." Pink attached 2 plane tickets from June 2022 of Cruz flying to meet.
But I heard if Frogan joins your stream, your viewership jumps up 20 viewers because she is that big. Well, you have to understand that, you know, Frogan is listen, Frogan's a rising streamer, okay? She horizontally rising, okay? Horizontally rising streamer. BMI rising. Okay, stop.
Tectone, who later dated Freem. This is important because it proves that Freem did not meet Cruz until well after the car clip of Tectone
Stop.
acting
I
like
need to
an
stop.
abusive
Stop.
towards Freem.
I'm being a piece of shit, okay? I'm being a piece of shit, okay?
It proves that Tectone lied to Pink and his audience about his behavior being because Freem cheated on him. He is a liar.
Keep this in mind. This is the day he caught her and Cruz cuddling on the couch and realized they were she was cheating on him with Cruz, his assistant.
You lie!
Tectone would go live the next day. Of course, not to address anything specific about him lying or the timeline of events. This is typically what he does, but to talk in vagaries and try to manipulate his audience.
And then one of that posse decides to go to the dark side because they're too dumb to realize how good they had it with the main group. People who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it's fine. It's all good. I'm not the person who keeps saying like, oh man, I'm going to keep talking about it. Why are you talking about it? I'm going to keep talking about it. And I'm letting you guys know, for all you guys who know what I'm talking about, just know that person is going to keep talking about it till the end of time. So we'll probably be going over this about 80,000 more times. And it's going to be weird as shit. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to keep being weird as shit. Okay? It's going to keep being weird as shit. It's going to keep being weird as shit.
He's poisoning
Okay.
the well here, almost as if he knows something else is coming. Oh, it's going to keep being weird, guys. I can't say the person's name or even talk about the specific allegations being made. It's just so weird.
And it's just going to be over and over and over and over.
Oh, so this is what we call priming, right? This is what we call priming. Priming your audience, right? Yeah.
And over again. And guys, I'm gonna let you guys know this. Here's the plot twist, guys. Here's the plot twist. I've done.
I think it's good for people to learn terms for different things that of certain abusive behavior or manipulative behavior. Okay, and by the way, like, obviously, you know, you shouldn't be doing you shouldn't be using these terms to manipulate other people, obviously. But I'm just saying it's just good to keep in mind for yourself, right? Did that rat just do a front flip? Okay, dude. Tectone said that, and then Frogan pushed that button, sending Tectone with the monster that nearly killed Luke Skywalker. What the fuck? What? Okay. You better not letting any you better not be letting any patients die while you're watching me, okay? All right.
Nothing wrong at all.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. And that's it.
Wow, what a shock. The guy
I'm also holding a pen. Oh, that's adorable. Cute.
who weaponized his now ex-girlfriend against his ex-wife with police charges, lies, and smears is now somehow totally innocent of any wrongdoing whatsoever.
If anybody asks, did Techie do anything weird? Did he do this thing? Did he do that thing? No.
It's funny that prior to any of the serious allegations becoming public, Tectone is already priming his audience, telling them, hey, if you hear anything weird about me, don't believe it.
I mean, these people, there's people that are out of control right now. And aren't I so kind by not even saying
It's
their
our free day,
name?
good.
Because I am trying so
Aw, Seth spends his free day on me. That's nice, isn't it?
hard to keep things cordial, but holy, I am trying so hard to keep it cordial. I am trying so hard not even to bring up their name.
Does he regularly crash out like this? I mean, I'm not too familiar with Tectone drama, okay? But like, Jesus Christ.
name.
Right.
Like I had it removed from my
All the time?
chat.
No.
He's just the best guy ever. He banned his ex's name in chat, refuses to say her name because he's a saint. It's not because he wants to respond
Also,
to this
yes,
in
for
a
my
totally
saint.
disingenuous way.
Like, oh my God, it's off. Jesus, it's
I
insane.
might have been banned.
And the
after-
worst thing
I
is I'm
might-
trying to protect this person, but they keep yapping.
Interesting.
And then this person knows my dad has cancer. Like, just off.
You guys have to understand,
Have you seen him cry recently? I have seen him cry, but honestly, now in retrospect, it feels as though he's doing a lot of manipulative crying in order to gain the sympathy of his audience. I think that his audience is like the most manipulated like ex that he's ever had, okay? How are you going to have a hoe when your side hoe is always the audience?
he's actually trying to protect his ex. And she's attacking him while his father has cancer. Just more manipulative bull.
And it's my reputation for years. The amount of
By the way, is Cameron already in jail? No.
people
think so.
that have me, that I have in turn protected
This is so weird.
and kept their darkest fucking secret. And I've done such a good job of not saying any of the wrongdoings this person's done. And I don't plan to unless my hand is forced. But the problem is I worry about this person so much that if they become aware of their own actions, that they might hurt themselves. That shit makes me depressed.
He could prove that he wasn't lying, but you don't understand. He's actually saving Pink's life from not doing so because he's so empathetic. You can't see it right now, but he's actually
Can you ever forgive Cameron? No. Unless he actually substantially changes into like a completely different person at some point. Or maybe he can give me a crumb of clout and then I'll like suck his dick or something. I'm kidding. Look. Yeah. Doctor says he is on death row. Yeah, I'm sure.
on a cross dying for all of his ex's sins.
Because I'm trying to help somebody that clearly will not let me help them. I'm not going to hold back anymore. So off, or I am going to say what I need to say. And I'm going to say this very clear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
need
have
to say what I
never
need to say.
done anything that is
What?
cancelable.
Some excellent foreshadowing from Tectone. Currently, he's dealing with relationship drama, so why did it jump to being canceled?
I mean, Jesus Christ. It's just too much, man. It's like every day, all these can't keep my name out their mouth, and I do them a service of never even mentioning their name to not exacerbate the issue. But I swear to God, one of my closest friends coming out, they think that shit me? Hell no. Jesus, these people are so pathetic. I am going to move on. And the worst thing is, you swore you would never do this to me. Because I even told you when we started this that I'm horrified of another person who I tried to take care of trying to me again.
You can tell how freaked out he is, and this is prior to any of the serious accusations becoming
He's actually just like, isn't he just like kind of panicking on camera? Jesus Christ, dude. Actually, just like my last patient. Oh no, what did you do to him? Did you lose your patience? Got him. Okay.
public by Pink. He's directly referring to Freem screwing him over. He knows what's coming. And the crazy thing is, it's so vague that nobody in the public knew any of the accusations Freem made. So he's directly talking to Pink, preemptively, months before Pink made any of the allegations public. And none of the people have context of what he's referring to until now.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The people who I help the most always me over. And you know what's crazy? And you see the people in my chat, and you see him asking who, and guess what? I'm still not going to say it.
Can we imply
Because
though?
at least I have some courtesy. That's my problem, is that I'm too good of a guy.
Tectone is a big dumb good guy, dude. With how he's showing his incredibly egotistical side, I'm not sure about that, dude. Like, I'm sorry, any actual good guy will never brag about how much of a good guy they are, okay? Unless completely necessary for some reason. All right, like, this just seems kind of weird.
One day I'll crash out, and I'll just post receipts of everything. Because here's the thing, guys. I don't do he said, she said.
Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good people that I know, okay, at some point or another, who do brag about being a good person, and are genuinely good people. But, like, usually most of the time when somebody does this, I'm sorry, it's just...
I keep receipts of everything.
It's important to remember that as this escalates throughout, Tectone threatens to leak things, which he says will prove his innocence on several occasions, but he never does. He never
Not this
posts
time.
anything. and things
Oh.
are about to get so much worse. On November 20th of 2024, Pink would
Yikes.
post on Twitter, quote, "How are you supposed to feel if a guy is abusive and makes you cry
I'm a good trans femme. You can just say you're a good person because everybody in chat is a trans femme. I'm kidding.
then shoves your head into his crotch and demands you him off, and his excuse is, emotion just turns me on when you cry." Or when you're asking that you don't feel comfortable doing
How are you supposed to feel if a guy is abusive and makes you cry, then shoves your head on his crotch and demands you suck him off, and his excuse is, emotion just turns me on when you cry?
his excuse is, emotion just turns me on when you cry.
Or when you ask him that you don't feel comfortable doing something sexual and he records you and demands you stop making faces and pretend you like it. Or you say you don't want to do it anymore and he shoves your head down till you throw up.
Or when you're asking that you don't feel comfortable doing something sexual and he records you and demands you stop making faces and pretend you like it. Quick pause, but in the text Pink put out months ago, she does ask him to delete any sexual
And again, if you can delete any sexual thing you have of me, I would appreciate it.
videos that he has.
Ooh.
We don't know if it's consensual,
Thanks.
obviously. Felt it was worth pointing out. Or you say you don't want to do it anymore and he shoves your head down till you throw up. Guilt trips you into giving and says,
Why stay with that person? Well, she was only with him for a very short amount of time. All right, so keep that in mind.
"Do your job, you don't pay rent. I took you to a water park, so you owe me. And all you can do is sleep upstairs because you know what he's going to keep telling you to do. He doesn't touch you, doesn't have sex with you, just keeps you around as a machine and degrades you."
Now, me personally, I'm going to just keep it
Oof.
100%. It will never not be the hottest thing ever when a thick female has a dick in their mouth. I will never need anything more than that. And it's just like, wow, bro, look at this human vacuum cleaner.
Makes you feel ugly.
What?
Don't wear baggy clothes. Straighten your hair.
Hold on.
Will never.
By the way, okay, when somebody comes out with like a rape allegation like this, okay, when somebody comes out with a rape allegation, I genuinely think that obviously, you know, it's really hard to produce evidence for something like this or produce whatever. But if your testimony is consistent, if there's multiple people coming out against you, in my opinion, I'm a little bit more inclined to believe them. Yes, I am. All right. I wouldn't say 100% sure that you have raped somebody. Okay. But if two people have come out with allegations of sexual misconduct like this, okay, this is the same standard that I applied to Cameron. Okay. This is the same standard I applied to Cameron. The reason I didn't take the Cameron allegations as seriously is because both people are inconsistent in their message. All right. They're both rather inconsistent. Okay, in this specific case, we will see whether or not they are consistent or not. All right, but what it looks like to me is that you have two people where both of these two people have hated each other at some point. Okay, but they both came out with the same the same stuff against Tectone, which does tell me that there is actually something wrong with Tectone, right? If that makes sense. Yeah.
Not be the hottest thing ever when a thick female has a dick in their mouth. I will never need anything more than that. And it's just like, wow, bro,
Okay,
look at
dude.
this human vacuum cleaner.
Makes you feel ugly. Don't wear baggy clothes. Straighten your hair. At least wear eyeliner around the house. Your self-worth totally crushed. I hate that people warned me. I didn't listen because I was so manipulated. I hate that I was lied to when another girl who went through worse was trying to come forward. Remember the stream Pink did where she went totally nuclear on Tectone's ex-wife?
She was going to do something much worse, so bad it would have ruined all of our lives. I'm not going to say what it was that she was doing, but it was so horrific it would have
Listen, being a gamer isn't a crime, true.
ruined all of our lives.
Freem was originally going to go public with allegations of abuse against Tectone. This is why Tectone had Pink go nuclear on Freem and accuse her of revenge and file a police report. This would lead to lawsuits involving Freem and Pink. Many of the claims Tectone was making that Pink would parrot were determined to be false, and the case would be settled after the determination in Freem's favor. Now, another settlement outside of this lawsuit happened between Tectone and Freem, I believe in Freem's favor, and led to both Freem and Tech being placed under NDA. so Freem wasn't ever able to go public with her allegations against Tectone, but there will be more evidence shortly that they were very, very similar to Pink's. Me and her are good now, but I should have listened. When you're in it, you feel blind to reason. I see some comments that are worried. I just want to let y'all know I am out and have been at my own place and am safe. Don't want to worry anyone. I've been taking it one day at a time since this.
Today, you are going to see me at my worst. Today, I feel like gonna be real. And I'm gonna address this right now because this is not content for me. I mainly just want my mods to hear this because I know a lot of my mods know about this. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. This ain't funny. This ain't.
I only heard about allegations because of his stuff with his father. I thought people were projecting. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I don't really care about, like, okay, listen, I don't think you should really, if he did get abused by his father, like sexually abused, I don't think you should hold that against him, okay? Obviously, because he's like a fucking child sex abuse survivor. But at the same time, you know, obviously, fuck, like, you know, you have some unresolved trauma there, buddy, okay? Not gonna lie, you know, maybe.
Cute. I can no longer help someone who is this stupid. I can no longer try to protect someone that is this stupid, who would betray me this much.
I didn't know about that. No. I'm not entirely sure, actually. Sorry, fuck me, dude. Hold on. Don't fuck me. Like, hold on. Is it true? Gosh, is it true that, like... Wait, Chinchilla. Did Tectone get raped? Or was it other woman that got raped? Which one is it?
And guys,
he was sexually abused? Oh, okay.
I'm going to keep this vague. I'm going to keep this vague for a reason.
But
okay?
not by his
So
father? Oh, not by... Okay, that's doubly fucked. So he had two predators in his life?
Confused, you're going to stay confused. I know the person who needs to hear this is going to hear this. And I mean this genuinely. I did everything for you. I helped you with everything. I fixed everything for you. I was there for you like nobody else was there for you in your whole life. Your words, not mine. The fact that you're letting these people get into your ear, people, the same people who are talking behind my back illegally, by the way, the same people who placed me under an NDA where I cannot talk about them. I know they're talking to you right now behind the scenes, and they're getting you to believe in bull, letting them get in your head and make you imagine problems that never happened.
This is such an insane explanation. His ex-wife manipulated her to create all of the things Pink talked about. Does that sound logical?
And it's insane how these things that have happened in your own mind, you are now coming at me, and this just isn't cute. So I am going to leave it at this. My lawyer is going to be contacting your lawyer, the same lawyer that I helped you get.
Nah, watch. I mean, which we make sex jokes and rape jokes all the time. Listen, all right, just listen. We are the furthest thing from being sensitive about these things. Okay, all right.
Because you were scared. I'm not fucking around with this.
Yeah, Pink was scared of a woman that she self-admittedly had never even met or spoken to. Obviously, everything that she knew was coming from Tectone. Let's just look at a portion of the lawsuit Pink filed against Freem, and you tell me.
Yeah, welcome to the jungle.
On August 18th, 2022, Tectone hosted a live stream where he went on a real-life adventure visiting several anime shops and attending an elaborate...
No, the actual raping did happen, okay? Just...
an expensive sushi dinner.
Yeah.
On the same day, Freem was extremely jealous of Tectone's adventure and was pouting in her office. Noticing Freem, Kurzum suggested they go out on their own adventure. Freem was excited by the prospect of going on a date with her crush, Kurzum, and agreed. Freem decided to impress Kurzum and put on her hottest outfit, a 2002 era Kim Possible look with turtleneck and cargo pants. She also made sure that her hair and makeup were perfect. Spance mentioned that Tectone was intimidating because Tectone was larger and louder than Spance, which was extremely rare. Unprovoked, Freem responded that Spance shouldn't be intimidated by Tectone because he has a micro. I just find it rich that
Okay.
After getting Pink involved...
Dude, this is so embarrassing, dude. Unprovoked, Freem responded that Spats shouldn't be intimidated by Tectone because he has a micro penis. Okay.
Spance, which was extremely rare. Unprovoked, Freem responded that Spance should...
This is a legal document? Yeah. Do I keep drinking? I have a buzzball. Stop drinking.
Shouldn't be intimidated by Tectone.
You're spamming the chat again. Stop spamming the chat.
Because he has a micro. I just find it rich that after getting Pink involved in this, letting her pursue revenge charges, then attempting to sue Freem based on Tectone's testimony of events, that he takes absolutely no responsibility for any of this whatsoever. It makes me question just how culpable Tectone was after all the drastic measures Pink took against Freem, that they are now on good terms.
If you want to do this, then let's do this. But I can't sit here and hear your dumb schizo the out, which I thought you were medicated for. I guess not. Schizo the out
Jesus.
repeatedly. So enjoy. My lawyer will be contacting your lawyer, and we're gonna shut this down right now because this is ridiculous. I tried to be cordial. I tried to be nice. I tried to be happy. I tried to help you, and that's the way that you're gonna repay me. Great. Check your phone messages. You'll be hearing from my lawyer very soon. I assist everybody that I know. The same people who I help the most end up me the hardest, and it happens year after.
Thank God that, dude, thank God that he even has money to afford a lawyer, okay? A lot of these people, they don't even have the money to afford a lawyer in the first place. And every single time they come out with allegations against a larger streamer that is credible to some degree, right? Every single time something like this happens, what happens is just legal threats to shut someone up because you want your little fantasy world of streaming to stay intact. It's disgusting, right? Like, here's the thing, okay? Like, I am naturally inclined to not believe women, okay? I'm naturally inclined to not believe women. But when a streamer, okay, does something like this, I start to believe them a little bit more, okay? When you act so defensively and make yourself look like the guiltiest motherfucker on the face of the planet, I'm a little bit more inclined to believe them, okay? Especially when you're, like, trying to shut them up like that. It's disgusting. Yeah. Tectone said he was raped, not just abused. Yeah, okay. Tectone is super rich. You gotta get these gotchas. Yep. Dude, I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for child sexual abuse victims that go out to project their trauma onto other people in their life when they turn into an adult, okay? All right, I have no sympathy. All right, if you are a child sexual abuse victim and you go out and you act all gay after you turn 18, I am kicking you in your balls and I'm castrating you, okay, with my foot. All right.
After year, and everyone wants to pretend that I'm the bad guy. I'm done being the good guy.
The next day, Tectone would post a response on Twitter as well, giving Pink 2 weeks to apologize and retract her statements, or he will pursue legal alternatives. He also proclaims that he was a victim of assault as well, which is not a good response to SA allegations. Can't be.
There you go. There you have it. I was talking about it. I didn't even know that part was coming up, okay? I didn't even know that part was coming up. All right? I'm sorry. If you use any of your past trauma to justify current shitty behavior, fuck you, dude. Honestly, you make everybody else look bad. You make all the child sexual abuse victims in the world look bad, okay? You make every child sexual abuse victim look like they're lying, look crazy, look whatever, all right? And it's not my fault. I'm not the one that's making them look crazy. You are,
The
okay?
abusive rape if I'm the
You triggered my card!
Next day, Kitnetic on Twitter makes this post, which I find pretty interesting. Quote, "It's pretty damning that 2 women I was very close to told me the exact same story about the same man without ever having spoken to one another, to the last detail, going back years before they ever even knew the other woman existed. The same gaslighting, narcissistic, manipulative cycle of abuse." Pink then hearts this tweet, which confirms that it has to do with her, and the other person was obviously Freem, who is going to this tweet, which confirms that it has to do with her, and the other person was obviously Freem, who was going to come out with allegations before something happened and NDAs were signed, maybe a payout possibly. Tectone would also announce what he called his resignation with OTK. I personally think OTK were well aware of his ex-wife's allegations, so this would have been the second go-around with abuse allegations, except this time they became public. Tectone actually tries to pass off that his contract was up, and he chose not to renew.
Let me explain to you why I left OTK, why I resigned from OTK. The reason why I resigned from OTK, why I did not sorry, I'm very tired. why I did not renew my contract with OTK that expired on November 1st, 2024. The original contract was 2 years with an additional option to extend by an additional year, thusly completing my 3 years in OTK. And the reason why I chose to not renew with OTK is because it gave me a weakness. And I realized I really don't like having weaknesses.
Yeah, sure. It was just a cause.
The weakness of allegations that you can't address, like the weakness of women. The weakness. Oh no! Oh god! Oh no! Woman! Oh my god, oh no. This video is gonna turn me into a feminist. I don't like it.
Cosmic coincidence. It happened directly after Pink's allegations became public. Screw it. I'll count this one.
Are you calling me a liar?
You sit on a throne of lies.
Pressure would mount until Tectone decided to go live on the 24th and make the single worst response to allegations I have ever seen in my time online.
We're going to talk about everything. However, in regards to a specific situation, I am only going to give you the tip of the iceberg, because the rest I am going to hold until I need to say it.
Now would probably be a good time.
Bitch! You either release nothing or you release all of it! What the fuck? What the? Oh, I'm only gonna release like the tip of the iceberg. What the? What? Okay.
Time to talk about maybe a little bit more than 5%.
It's the slow woman that penetrate the Tectone.
Tectone. Actually provide receipts or talk about the situation more in depth, considering your last two girlfriends appear to be calling you a rape.
I want to let you guys know one thing. I am not going to tell you a single lie this entire stream. At least I'm gonna try not to. And you know what's crazy? Oh, and guys, in case you don't know what the allegations are, let's just get them out of the way. I have been accused by my ex-girlfriend of being abusive, mentally abusive, and potential. I've been accused of all those things. And before, there's a guy in chat who's saying, again, this isn't an again thing. This is a what?
Statistically, women are telling the truth. Well, what I kind of find online is that listen, just I don't know. There's just a lot of women that are like lying online. Okay, all right. I don't know what to say. I look for signs. Okay, I look for signs, and you know, a lot of times they are actually lying about shit. But this time, by the way that he's acting, not good.
One-time thing.
Not good.
There is no again.
Not good. Things are not looking good for him.
Liar. He's a liar.
In my 30 years of being alive.
Also, how's the game? Isn't the game enjoyable to watch? Dude, the graphics are so good, aren't they? Yeah. Let me know like which game you guys like watching the most, okay?
On this earth, there are two things that I've never done. I have never cheated. I have never placed anyone under an NDA.
Tectone unfortunately forgets to include the in the list of things he's never done. Keck.
I'm going to give you guys 5% of the proof.
What game is this? No Rest for the Wicked.
And the evidence that I have in my favor. He doesn't touch you, doesn't have sex with you, and keeps you around as a blood machine and degrades you. First of all, I've never degraded you. I never have.
I'll say this game is boring to watch. Man, screw you, okay? I need to... Man! Okay, well, you know, that's okay. All right, as long as the content itself is not boring, okay?
Have, never will. And the other reason is Pink. You understand why I would not have sex with you. As a victim of sexual assault and rape myself, I had trauma.
Oh, wow. You know, a lot of people who rape other people are people who rape other people. Like, people who... sorry, wait, hold on. That made absolutely no sense. People who rape other people are sometimes also rape victims, okay? I know, isn't that fucking crazy?
When it came to...
This game is pretty meh. Yeah, it's Look, I need something to, like, do with my fingers, okay? All right?
You having sex. This is a known fact. I've
And since, you know, I'm in public, I can't do the other thing with my fingers, but, you know.
Told you this from day one. I've also said, if you can't handle it, it is what it is. I don't want to apologize for being and being scared.
So this isn't a big secret, but a context you should probably have is that this was the case for the majority of the 10 years with Freem and 2 with Pink, which corroborates Pink's allegations, the type of physical relationship that was had.
No
Tectone
privacy.
attempts to offer this as an explanation, but it really just illustrates how disordered he is.
Now, I would like everybody to know, over the course of the past 4 months, I have since gotten over that.
Well, that's a bit convenient.
I'm understanding everything the romantic do is crazy.
The demon is a liar.
A liar.
So,
I think at some point everyone has to have an asexual girlfriend, okay, an asexual partner, so that they can truly understand the value of life, okay? I think everyone should have an asexual girlfriend-boyfriend experience, okay? So you can learn to not be insecure about your sexual proclivities, okay? I just killed myself.
I would say talking about things is good.
Tectone addresses Pink's post and provides only a single receipt, which in his mind is going to clear the entire debacle up. Must be pretty damning. Let's take a look.
Guilt trips you into giving jobs and says, do your job.
A friend? No. Somebody to do cute romantic shit with and go on dates, but not have sex, all right? Yeah.
You don't pay rent. I took you to a water park, so you owe me. Pink,
She left
you
something
implied
half-faced.
that I was paying you
No, it
to
doesn't
suck
count.
my... That is not true. You know that's not true. What you would do is, you would go upstairs, you would record your OnlyFans, and then you would beg me to suck my dick. You say that I would say, do your job, you don't pay rent. This is factually untrue. Here is you
What?
paying rent. Not one time, but multiple times. That is you paying rent. And now what you might...
The allegation isn't paying rent, dude. The allegation is that you raped. What a moron, dude. What an actual fucking moron. Dude, the allegation isn't rent. The allegation is whether or not you raped. What the fuck? Okay.
might be thinking is, oh, well, maybe those are just edited screenshots. Well, then if you're not happy with my word, allow me to show you your own. My trauma with Tectone. I have been Tectone's roommate for a year now, and I can say he is one of the most understanding, kindest persons I have ever met, and contrary to popular belief, I do pay rent, Lamau.
Total Tectone victory. He did it. She paid rent. She was lying.
She pay rent, guys. Okay, we can stop the video now, okay? Clearly Tectone is absolved of every single possible fucking charge of everything. It's just
Right? Only there's one big tech dope issue.
She never said that she never paid rent. She said that Tectone told her that since you don't pay rent, you have to pay me back in these other ways. And then
who's that? Is that Chut Logic? Is that the Gawk Hunter? Oh shit. Ari, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Holy shit. Is that Dickers getting a membership? I'm a guy. I'm a guy.
What?
Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, Ari. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. W. Everybody do W in the chat for Ari, okay? Ari deserves a big fat W, alright? Ari is one of my favorite whales, okay? Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
and we literally saw a video of him doing exactly
So it's
that.
fucking bullshit.
She never said that she never paid rent.
That's a lot of W's.
She said that he said she never paid rent.
Is that the garbage has not been taken out in 7 days. It's Pink's responsibility. And the reality is that she's in my house role-playing as a goth Hooters orderer, waitress. And honestly, it's really annoying because the reality is she doesn't pay rent. The reality is she doesn't pay rent. She's not doing her responsibilities, and she needs to do.
Dude, Asmongold orbit in shambles. Asmongold orbit in shambles. All of them are like sexual degenerates, and this is coming from a sexual degenerate. I am a sexual degenerate, okay? Actually, honestly, fuck it. Compared to the average fucking streamer, I'm not a sexual degenerate, alright? I've seen some things. I've seen some crazy shit.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Garbage is
Bro. Oh, dude, that is very deceptive on his part.
It actually beggars belief. The only point Tectone makes to address and fight against these accusations, he just straight up lies about. As he clearly states there,
the reality is she doesn't pay rent.
This was one of the things I actually asked Tectone about, and surprise, surprise, he refused to answer.
He's lying. I knew you were lying.
And I wish she would understand. If she would just delete the post and apologize, all of this would go away and things would go back to normal.
What? The beatings will continue until morale improves? Is that literally what he just said? What? This can all go away once you delete it. What? No, dude. He's so abusive. What the fuck?
Will you tweet out the proof? I will at a certain point. I will at a certain point. I really, truly hope that you guys believe everything that is that I said.
What?
If you didn't, I'll provide proof later.
What do you... Later? Later?
Right, so obviously without proof, nobody knows what actually happened. But it's like, dude, this guy's only receipt was him being totally deceptive and just straight up lying, caught in 4K. And here's the thing, it's not even on him to provide proof, but he said he had it and will provide it and just never does as things get increasingly worse. How does this make any sense? How am I not supposed to see this as incredibly suspicious? Literally him.
Bro, dude, listen, he didn't even have to do anything. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand he didn't even have to do anything? It's kind of crazy how when somebody does like panic responses that they bring a lot of things onto themselves. And you know, they didn't even have to listen, when you have allegations being thrown against you, the biggest thing in my opinion is that you should just like, I don't know, just do nothing, okay? Just do nothing, because all the fucking burden of allegations should be on the person making the allegations. Okay, it shouldn't be on you to disprove whatever fake allegations that you get, okay? But if you react so, like, in a really panicked way, all right, nobody who is innocent would react like that, no? Like, I would then assume that you are actually, like, fucking guilty to some degree. Like, fuck it, dude. But yeah, like, fuck. I don't know. Stream through a strat, yeah,
Never
exactly.
talking about the allegations would have been better. Worst response ever.
LSF is a miserable place. And I know that now that I have shown proof with receipts that I am cleared of all wrongdoing.
In January of 2025, Pink would state that Freem never actually had revenge for her, that she was lied to and used as a pawn to defame someone that didn't deserve the hate, that her and Freem had cleared up what really happened, and that any lawsuits/charges wouldn't be pursued, and that most of what was put out was distorted in order to defame Tectone's ex-wife, Freem. On January 15th, Tectone made an announcement basically saying, "Hey guys, I know I said I was going to sue Pink, but unfortunately, she knows all the loopholes in defamation cases. Yes, the young OnlyFans girl who sounds like this."
Look, okay, I'm a girl. I don't want to look bad. What if my coochie comes out?
Here's the crazy idea.
Thank you. Now my sisters are now gamer nerds and weebs, and I have infected them.
Is a defamation savant, totally ruining your life? This makes total sense. Don't question it. But from the website Law Shelf, it specifically states that, quote, for a statement to be considered defamation, it must be about the plaintiff. Even if the statement does not mention him or her by name, it can be actionable on grounds of...
I think you understand, so I don't know why you're playing Dumb Foos. He has the heart of a gacha gambler. The odds of him addressing it is a 1% chance. Would you take those odds? If there's a soft pity for it, then yeah, sure.
Defamation, if a reasonable person would understand the communication as referring to the plaintiff, and seeing as every single...
After all, the only whale in the house isn't just Tectone. Okay, sorry. Okay, stop.
Person on the internet that knows about this understands that it's being communicated by you. It looks like you're full of shit yet again.
Been lying to me. I'm gonna charge you with perjury.
He also states once again in the face of abuse allegations that it's actually him that was assaulted. and that Pink is actually inhumanely weaponizing assault against the real victim, Tectone. Again, it's just a terrible response regardless of its validity when
Hope you win the 50-50. Imagine playing 50-50 games. Like me, okay? Don't do it.
facing these accusations. He also brings up the NDA, but sort of lies about ever putting anyone under one for allegations they were going to make. Well, we know now for a fact Freem was going to come out with allegations against Tectone, and shortly after that, a settlement, payout, or something happened, and both parties were put under NDA. 2 weeks later, on January 23rd, Pink would announce that she had contacted the police and reported Tectone. A couple of months after the Pink allegations became public, Tectone got a literal berserk tattoo to represent his struggle. If you don't know about berserk, essentially the main characters get what is called a brand of sacrifice, where after receiving it, they are doomed for eternity to be pursued and sacrificed by demons. This guy gets accused of abuse and is acting like he is Guts from Berserk, literally branding him.
You know what's so funny about Berserk is that the main villain is like a hardcore rapist. There is a lot of rape in Berserk, except they present rape in a way that is not weird, okay? They present like rape not as a fan service, but as something that's actually horrific. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me that Tectone would get like a Berserk tattoo after getting like rape allegations, okay? Like, what? Do you have no self-awareness?
Himself to represent his struggle. It's unbelievable. He's like Guts, guys, but instead of fighting demons, he women. Not only this, but what do you think Berserk is famously controversial
Yes! Thank you!
for? You guessed it, gratuitous amounts of SA. I'm not kidding, this guy got the anime tattoo after getting accused of it. After he got off communication with me, for the next few days, he started emo posting stuff like this as well, which is hilarious. He's Guts, for real, for real. Since you're being sacrificed, I guess I'll be Boyd.
Everything lies within the currents of causality.
And that should bring us to the present. And unless you've been living under a rock for the past 6 months, you've probably seen an entire legion of content creators crying about this guy.
You know that Hassan Piker?
Yes, somehow, the man with the small head who kicks a bag worse than any mid-40s woman doing jazzercise has become the face of radical politics and terrorism on the internet. So much so that the feds are now pulling him into back rooms to talk to him about Twitch bans.
For those of you who don't know, I was detained by Customs and Border Patrol. I was tactically ascertained. They're watching. Oh, the feds are watching. They're always watching. Feds are always like this. Okay, now we know for real.
People are so obsessed with taking this guy down, they've actually weaponized the ADL to go after him.
But all of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer, Hassan Piker. Like, extremists should not be...
Stop right there. Arrest him immediately. He's a gamer. Get him!
...empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed.
Gone are the days of Sam Hyde putting on an Irish accent, talking about hunting him down in his house in California. We've now entered a period where every single day is filled with people clutching pearls and bitching about how the small head man needs to be banned off of Twitch's platform because he's a dangerous man. The guy's been a leftist extremist since working at the Young Turks. This isn't really a new development. But if I have to be subject to everyone crying about this you have to listen to me cry about how repetitive it is. Alleged Weinstein ogre Tectone decided he wanted to get in on the Hassan bad craze by announcing he was leaving Twitch. I am genuinely considering full swapping to YouTube if this terrorist propaganda isn't punished harshly and immediately on Twitch. My fathers, my brothers, and our soldiers did not.
The only Hassan bad content you guys should watch is me. And that's it, okay? It should just be me, all right? Do you know why? It's because otherwise you would be watching people like Asmongold, okay? And these anti-woke people, and they suck, all right? Like, objectively. Tomorrow, Asmongold is gonna go live on Twitch. Yeah, I know, I quote tweeted that. You know, joining the pedo network, okay? Listen, the lolly recruiter is joining the pedo network.
Bleed, sacrifice, and die for this to be allowed and promoted on Twitch. This needs to be changed. Immediately.
I did not watch my buddies die face down in the muck.
Hassan would respond, basically calling Tectone a but what happens next elevates this story to an all-timer.
Apparently, Tectone, as soon as he came after me and talked about his father's like military record or whatever, the internet found out that dad did the same shit that he did.
No shit.
And victims like Heath Phillips. When he told his commander, his report was ignored. The Department of Defense says 19,000 incidents of assault occurred in 2010 alone. Nearly 90% went unreported.
Biggest photo you see is of Colonel Michael Robertson.
he was convicted of 14 accounts of assault.
Turns out apple doesn't fall far from the tree, folks.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on assault charges. Yeah, you be hanging with. The you be hanging with. And it was your mans. He was your boy. You grew up with him.
After being embroiled in abuse and allegations for months, Tectone's own father turned out to be possibly the most infamous sex pest in U.S. military history. His father was such a that they literally had televised C-SPAN Congress hearings in an attempt to stop future assaults by using him as the example.
I rise again today to draw attention to the epidemic in our military of assault. 19,000 women.
Wait, hold on one second. It just processed in my mind. Oh, okay. All right, sorry. It had to kick in for a moment, okay? You know how it is. It's like medication.
Women and men each year are or assaulted in the military. This travesty is not being addressed, and I will continue to speak out on this floor until it does. Today, I would like to tell the story of one of the 8% that were
Stop military rap? Weird.
Prosecuted. The story of Colonel Michael Robertson, who commanded Fort Bliss's 31st Combat Support Hospital at Camp Dwyer, a military base and airfield in the Helmand River Valley in Afghanistan. Last week, Colonel Robertson was convicted by a military judge of 14 charges, including having on his government computer, harassing 3 women, and assaulting 5 women. 8 women that served under his command testified at great cost to their careers and their privacy. Colonel Robertson routinely touched them without permission on their breasts, thighs, and buttocks, and encouraged them to look at computer. Some testified the harassment occurred daily. Despite repeated warnings, Colonel Robertson also emailed friends and female subordinates. What makes the defense's answer to all
okay, real talk. I actually feel really bad for people who are associated with horrible people, okay? Like normally. Normally I am. I am very, very, like I feel really bad because a lot of times it is guilt by association, okay? It is guilt by association, all right? Like, for example, the descendants of Adolf Hitler constantly get, like, phone calls from, like, far-right extremists saying that, oh, you're next in line to become, like, the prince of the Fifth Reich or whatever the fuck that, you know, they jerk themselves off to every night, right? Or I actually know as well somebody, right, I think somebody in my chat before said that their father was like an actual fucking pedophile. And so therefore, ever since then, you know, he's never really had like a good life because people have been harassing them and going after them, right? Or whatever. This is assuming that the person who is guilty by association is innocent, okay?
These actions,
I'm just saying
that all of these jokes and the touching were attempts to boost morale. Colonel Robertson, the majority of assailants are older and of higher rank than their victims. They abuse not only their authority, but also the trust of those they are responsible for protecting. Survivors can email me at stopmilitary@mail.house.gov if they would like to speak out.
Hitler's nephew left Germany and joined the U.S. military, and the U.S. used him as a propagandist to recruit people into the military and buy war bonds based. Hello?
This was all part of the creation of the Assault Training Oversight and Prevention Act, which was created because of Tectone's father. You may be thinking, wow, can't get any more absurd than this, right? Well, you would be wrong, as Tectone regularly would have his father on live streams and podcasts. And what do you think that typically looked like?
Obviously, you're not aware of my first podcast with Techie.
Oh, the one where I showed you.
What do you think about that?
Do it again.
Daddy issues?
They all have daddy issues. Well, she has a facial expression as if to say, hey, sailor. I like the little short dress. She looks like she works out.
One of the first things Tecto says to me is like, sup, dude? By the way, my 17-year-old father thinks you're hot. And I was like, uh-oh.
What? Why do you have your father on stream? Why did you never think about this? Your father is like, he's not just a regular rapist. Your father is like the rapist. Your father is like the CEO of rape What the fuck, dude? Some people, dude, again, some people just never fucking, you know, Emerald cosplay one shot. Okay, you're getting time for 30 seconds. 1 minute. Okay.
First thing he did was he put me into some kind of headset and costume and put me in this AI room.
VR chat.
Am I moving? Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's chill. And that's
Yeah, but how? Oh Lord, have mercy. And so he's got me in that headset, and I'm in there, and
I'm holding them on.
It's getting bad. And,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's as dressed up as a girl.
I gotcha.
Right, because
Or
that's the
whether-
thing.
Yeah, or whether it,
Dude, this guy got IRL like Herbert the pervert. Dude, oh my, dude, this guy has a IRL Herbert the pervert for a dad, dude. You can't make this up. You can't make this up, dude. Why? I thought like I thought anybody would be like, okay, you know what the most reasonable thing to do is? The most reasonable thing to do is this. Yeah, my dad is a famous pervert. Yes, but I still love my dad, and nothing will change that. I love my dad, nothing will change that, but at the same time, I don't deny all the horrible things that he's done. And I think that everything that he's done is horrible, absolutely horrible, but he still took care of me. He still could take care of me, and he's still my dad. He's still my father. But I know, please don't judge me for my association, and I love you all. He could have said something like that, not this.
it's you dressed up as a girl.
Probably mostly
Yeah.
Asmund.
Yeah.
We're gonna give him a heart attack, I swear to God.
A convicted pervert father and son bonding, where you feel up anime waifus in VR that may or may not be men, is insane, even by my standards.
And you can the sensors made it feel like I was being touched.
Damn.
Yeah, and it felt like this.
Nah, bro, not Asmongold talking with Tectone's CEO of Rape. Dude, oh no. Oh, do you denounce him, Asmongold? And then Asmongold is joining Twitch now. I'm sorry, not Twitch. Kick. You know, the website in which the founder of that site literally goes around promoting actual child predators. Wow! Crazy, isn't it?
This one character was unzipping my pants.
Freckles, the
And I want you to bark for me.
Woof. Wait a minute, I got another dog. I got another. Want to hear my other dog? Oh, oh. That's my other dog. Woof, woof. Oh, oh. How we doing? She looks real submissive and looks like, in the words of Halsey, I can take a pounding.
What do you think?
6 years old, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what she looks like.
Do you know what a lolly is?
Looks like a 3-year-old.
What a furry is?
No.
There are people who dress up in like dog suits.
Don't you dare associate. Don't you dare associate my holy lolly, okay, with stuff like this. Don't you ever, okay? How dare you, okay? Never, ever insult my lolly like this, okay? What the fuck? Alright? Stop associating lolly with actual child predators. What the fuck? Get out! Get out! Get
You know what pegging is.
I can tell you a great pegging story.
One of them. 8 stepmoms? Hold up. What?
7 stepmoms? How many have I had?
I'm a bad man, but it ain't, okay? It's like saying you're gonna make not have the money shot. It ain't, there ain't a money shot.
You know, people ask me what was about the military. What did you like? Well, I love the camaraderie.
Stop military.
Incredibly, Tectone brought his father into the online arena, and even though he had sexual charges, thought it would be wise to have him goon out to lolly and VR gotcha game degeneracy. The reaction to Hassan striking back at Tectone was met with many people bemoaning Hassan for attacking family or going low. However, Tectone brought him onto his own platform. He can be talked about, and if you think for a minute I shouldn't talk about him being an infamous convicted military pest, you can go yourself. I don't care. The following is taken from a blog that sources news publications that were done at the time, dated November 13th, 2011. Quote, After he was found guilty, the colonel walked over to one of the victims and said, "I'm sorry." She started to sob and walked away, appearing to make sure not to let him touch her. Later, before he was sentenced, the colonel looked at the woman who accused him from the stand and said, "I would like to apologize for any and all of the actions that led to these proceedings being necessary. It was never my intent to harm or offend any of the women, and I will take the burden to my grave." The colonel's mental health doctor at Fort Bliss testified that he was as a young child by a male caretaker who currently suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. There is some cosmic irony that both Tectone and his father's response to allegations in court proceedings for sexual impropriety is
Guys, break the cycle. Break the cycle, guys, okay? If you've ever been raped before, do not become a rapist. I know, okay? I know. Sometimes you just gotta break the cycle, all right? Listen, I was abused as a kid, okay? Thank God I was not a sex abuse victim, okay? But I was abused, all right? Please, for the love of God, just break the cycle, all right? Don't be like your parents, okay? If you think your parents are bad, according to your own little moral system, okay? Don't be like your parents, okay? You should strive to become the opposite of your parents, all right? If your parents are bad, okay? Yeah.
both cases to state that they were both victims of abuse. In Tectone's case, to use as a shield as to why he couldn't possibly have done anything wrong, and in his father's case, as an attempt to explain his behavior.
And then Hassan starts going after my father. And I get very confused by this. Because me and my father have had a pretty bad past. I'm pretty open about this. My father's gone to prison. I'm very open about this.
Here's Tectone 2 weeks prior to this, where he acts like he has.
Okay, by stating the reason why he went to prison, the fact that you didn't even state it shows that you're not that open about it. It's like, what? Who cares? Whatever, man. It's
No idea what anyone's talking about when his father's convictions are brought up.
Your father went to jail for the same. Oh, really? Wait, tell me more, man. Tell me more. What else? Who'd my dad? Who? 5 women in the military accuse your father of. Really? That's crazy. You think so? What else? That's why he went to jail discussing vote. Really, man? That's interesting. How do you know so much? How are you so all-knowing? My father's gone to prison. I'm very open about this.
You are a bald-faced liar.
If anybody's surprised, yeah, my dad's gone to prison before. Me and my father have had a pretty
Dude, I still can't believe his dad is like the CEO of rape.
interesting past.
Instead of addressing the news surrounding his father, who he brought on streams, and just take the L, Tectone decides to pull on the heartstrings of his viewers and talk about all of his childhood trauma. There's really no need to, and it comes off as manipulative, while under a microscope of controversy.
When I was a young boy, I came.
Whenever I talk about my past, I'm manipulating you guys, okay? I'm manipulating my viewers, all right? When I'm talking about my past, okay? Just remember that.
Came from a very, very, very poor family. I did.
I'm telling you guys this, so then later on, you don't get to go like, oh, I didn't know Foodshops was manipulating me. I'm kidding.
My mother never really treated me well, and I was named after my father's best friend because I was supposed to die at birth.
Are you serious right now, bro?
I lived with my mother until about 3rd grade, and, you know, something very bad happens to me.
Which mother?
I don't feel like talking about it. Due to that thing happening to me, lawyers get involved, the court gets involved. When I moved in with my dad, it was a very hands-off relationship with me and my dad. He bought me and my brothers a separate apartment to live, while him and my stepmom lived in a separate apartment.
And right away,
Stop manipulating us, Shops. No, sorry.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Stop manipulating us, Shops.
It's a habit. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
Tectone is provably misrepresenting the truth yet again.
Tectone said that whenever he was in high school, you had a separate apartment for them to be at, so you could have privacy with your own apartment.
Fourth grade.
All right. That's not untrue, but that is a misrepresentation of the truth. So he and his brothers went into a 2-bedroom that was down the hall until 4 months later when we moved to a house.
Don't lie right now.
You lie! And me and my father never really interacted much, and I was just considered the failure of the family. I was on by pretty much everybody, including my dad, I'm not gonna lie. And I'll be real, I was never really treated too good.
Yes, after bringing his father on podcasts and streams, now that the internet has found out his history, he is going to completely throw him under the bus for hundreds of thousands of viewers.
Father becomes incredibly violent. I hear that my father has been accused of a crime, even though my father never treated me too well.
No wonder he associates with Nux Taki, dude. Dude, everything just starts making sense now. Everything just simply starts making sense. Dude, no wonder he associates himself with Nux, dude. Game recognizes game.
Well,
okay?
Nobody ever really wants to believe that about their dad. And I'm just gonna be real. Like when you talk to my dad, he
what Nux Taka did, other than be like a weird Trump grifter person, he has also like openly associated himself with Shadman, and he also denies it later on. Like he just straight up lies to his viewers, and he called like somebody who is on dubious charges like a random ass pedo. Like it's so funny. It's just, I don't know. Like again, just another scumbag on YouTube, another scumbag streamer.
like be grabbing you. I'm not lie. And he doesn't do that anymore because I told him it's
You know, some people are just pieces of shit. You know, you can't really change
weird
that.
as shit. But he would like grab your shoulder, he would grab your arm. And he said that's what he got convicted for. And obviously he took some of the aggression out on me. I got back from soccer practice, which I joined because I wanted to make my dad proud. And I put a orange soda can on top of my trash can. My father threw me to the ground and put a gun against my head. And he said, give me a good reason not to shoot you.
So you felt comfortable bringing your father around all of these public...
What?
people several times. And now that he has some hate online, you're going to out him as this abusive monster? It's strictly, in my opinion, to garner sympathy from his audience and just totally using his father to do so.
Now, obviously, this isn't really anything that I just really want to talk about on stream. However, a really great Twitch streamer.
You know that Hassan Piker?
It's just making me relive my childhood trauma because of all this. I hated my father because he never told me that he was proud of me.
You serious?
He always made me feel like a failure. And to be honest, he was quite abusive. Looking into what I heard that he was convicted of, which I never did.
It is quite literally the first and third results on Google when Googling your father's name, Tectone. The third in all caps, assault in the military.
I guess 15 years after the fact is quite painful.
This is the most cursed orbit I have ever. This, oh my god, this is up there. This is up there with Hassan's orbit, dude. This is it. They're really in the Olympics for the worst fucking solar system on the planet. I know, commenter, dude.
It is. Anyways, fast forward a little bit. After I was homeless for a tad, I would DM them.
Again, what's so sad is like, again, right? Like there's a totally good way to process all of this, right? Like if you just were, I don't know, if you literally just said, oh, hey, by the way, you know, my father was a piece of shit. At the same time, obviously he did a lot of horrible shit. But, you know, me and my father, I still love him to a degree. So obviously I want to fix my relationship with him. But regardless, you know, I don't deny that he raped like 8 women.
About how sometimes I had no money to where I couldn't even afford to eat. And it got met with laughter. Due to this all being resurfaced by Hassan, due to what
I can't believe Hassan would rape Tectone, dude. Why would Hassan do this? Why would Hassan just rape Tectone like this?
father was convicted for, which really hurts to say.
I mean, I'm not sure why you've known about it for the last 15 years.
It's kind of hard to think of your family as a monster, but I didn't sleep much last night. I honestly didn't want to believe it last night.
Yeah, sure, it's not like people have been posting at you that your dad went to jail for being a pest for the last 5 months.
And I don't really know what to think, but I think the fact that Hassan wants to imply that I'm a monster
You know that Hassan Piker?
based off of who my father is disgusting.
Like this.
Sorry. Okay, you're, dude. Oh my god, dude. Okay, we need better Hassan ops. Okay, we need better Hassan ops. I hate Hassan, but this is not it. Okay, I hate Hassan, but this is not it. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought Hassan, I thought Hassan was like out of pocket, right? For bringing up somebody who's just like guilty by association. But I didn't know that Tectone had his father on stream, glorified his military experience, downplayed his crimes, and maybe even did what he did. Like, I'm sorry, okay? At this point, it's just like, oh, fuck. Right? Fuck! Okay.
Man has, I guess, epigenetic memories of. It's just like, it's a familial obligation over here.
And to imply that I'm a.
Yeah, whatever. He made a joke at your expense. Because you've been involved in SA allegations the past year, and then the internet found out that your dad was one of the most infamous pests in U.S. military history. I get it. I made a whole doc.
I'm not even entirely against having his father on stream even, right? Like, if you really were to force it, right? If you really would, because I'm not against having controversial or dangerous people on stream, right? Why do you think people interview serial killers? Like, why do you think people interview these people or associate themselves? Like, why? Why is that the case? Well, it's probably because they have some unique insights to give about the matter, right? It's almost as if understanding, you know, some issues are actually good for society, right? Or whatever, to put it in a more understanding light, but still not like fully supporting the behavior whatsoever, right? Not fully, just not supporting the behavior whatsoever. Obviously, you know, gaining a better understanding of the psychology of people like this is interesting. But having him play VR with like having, you know, playing like VR porn and sex is probably not the way to do things. Maybe this is a really controversial thing to say. Right? Like, what the fuck? Once I go out the deep end in Minecraft, I'll let Shops interview true base. Hold on. What is this?
Someone, I want to help you, but I.
What is this? Why did you give me this? That is Tectone, okay? That is Tectone.
Documentary about it. It's like an absurd cosmic joke at your expense.
And to imply that I'm a.
Is he whimpering? The man is literally whimpering directly
Oh, come on. You can whimper better than that.
into the microphone over a joke Hassan, the face of terrorism in 2025, made. This is 100% performative. You cannot convince me otherwise. You could pause and play a song to center yourself, but instead, you're staying on stream and whimpering directly into a microphone.
After I myself have been twice based on what my father has done.
I'm sorry, not funny. Child sex abuse victim. Not funny. Oh, not funny. Not funny. Disavow.
It's just a little bit crazy, isn't it?
He is actually trying to use SA as a
Okay, I need to stop smiling. I need to stop smiling. Not good. Okay, why am I smiling?
shield against Hassan Piker making jokes about his dad being a convicted pest. It's the BPD woman meme to say you were SA in order to be deemed beyond reproach.
Nobody ever talks about BPD men, okay? Everybody talks about BPD women, but nobody ever talks about BPD men, all right? This is a BPD man. All right? This is a BPD man. Understand?
Or criticism. Funnily enough, he did the same thing with Pink when she made allegations against him. Maybe you're thinking I'm jumping to conclusions and being too harsh. Well, just a few minutes later, after that great performance to garner sympathy from his audience, he switches on a dime like nothing ever happened. You be the judge.
But, yeah. I'm gonna just keep farming the out of them.
Okay.
To be honest. Yeah, I don't give a Yeah, straight up.
Gross.
I'm good. Yeah, it is what it is. There's not really anything he can say to deter me whatsoever, to be completely honest. Yeah, I think the guy's an absolute piece of shit. Do I think he's in the wrong for what he said about my dad? No, not really. I mean, at the end of the day, those are public court documents. But try to tie me to that because of who my dad is, bro, you're retarded.
What do you mean? You have your dad on stream as like a celebrity, like he's a celebrity guest, like you're Oprah Winfrey. Like you fucking Oprah'd your dad. Like what? And honestly, if I have to be quite honest, like father, like son, no?
You're just dumb. You know what I mean? Like this whole apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Go yourself, dude. We all know the great guy your dad was. Thankfully, I have a little bit of class to actually not talk about that. What a joke. Anyways, we're gonna be having a podcast with Dan Saltman later, which I bet is gonna be so great. We have a great podcast with Dan Saltman and Nux Taku. That will be happening in 53 minutes. Hassan's favorite streamers.
Tectone's ex-girlfriend Pink would also say on Twitter that
Dan, you're better than this. Dan associating himself with Destiny. Oh, listen, associating Destiny, that's fine, okay? But associate yourself with Tectone. Both of them? Sometimes one, but now two? Unacceptable. This kid, this Twitch short isn't unacceptable.
wasn't going to say anything, but that guy would not stop talking about how he wanted to have relations with a podcast member, made jokes about women being in Vietnam, and made me extremely uncomfortable. I tried to say something and was told it wasn't a big deal. He would say the women who accused him of SA in the military were liars, and I still can't believe he was allowed around other female
I can hear you over noise cancellation. I know. I understand.
content creators, including me. The truth always comes to light, and I hope those women know they did the right thing.
Your dad's a yeah.
Tectone's ex Pink posted proof in March she went to police, and on May 9th, after returning from traveling abroad, posted an email setting up further investigative meetings with the police. Tectone's community, who are obviously biased for their streamer, regularly accuse Pink of faking these screenshots. But don't take her word or mine that there is police matters at hand. Take Tectone's word.
Guys, I'll be real. I went to the police yesterday. Saying, hey, let's hurry this up.
I had no idea you could tell the police, let's hurry this up when they're investigating you. I'm learning so much, guys. This is awesome.
Like legit. I got my lawyers like, hey, let's hurry this the up, right? Because like, you know, they're going to investigate me. They're going to.
Okay, never mind. I'm fully pro Hassan now. I am pro Hassan. These ops are embarrassing. Okay, these ops are embarrassing. I'm fully pro. I'm kidding.
Investigate me 100%. They're going to investigate me. They're going to investigate me 100%. I said, bro, just talk to me. Let's get this go. I've been waiting 7 months for these people just to reach out to me. And it's like, bro, can we just go ahead and wrap this up? Like, if anybody's worked with the police, it is so slow. It's unbelievable. And then all you ever get told.
I'm playing an anime game in the background, dude. This is so classic, dude. So classic.
I recommend you don't say anything. I recommend you not saying anything. Let's handle this in court. It's like, brother, I don't want to go to court. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to live my life.
That's quite a change.
How does it, dude? Oh God, this grown man child is so embarrassing, dude. He's actually so embarrassed. How does he live with himself? Like legit, like how does he live with himself?
From his original threats to sue Pink for defamation, isn't it?
You no longer have 2 weeks. You have 24 hours.
I mentioned this earlier, but I did speak with Tectone.
Sag, Daijaboo? Sag?
He said he would answer.
Okay, stop.
Or whatever I wanted. However, once he noticed the questions, he hid behind the NDA with Freem, even though half of the questions had nothing to do with her. I asked him about the allegations, and as stated earlier, he just straight up lied to me about that. I asked if he ever posted any other receipts as he said he would, if there was ever a period of time where Pink wasn't paying rent, and why he wasn't pursuing a defamation case after he said he would. He responded with, I think the problem with a lot of these questions is that with an ongoing lawsuit happening, I think you know I can't talk about a lot of this. Out of curiosity, to not fuel any fire, wouldn't it just be better to wait to make this video until the result of the investigation, or why does it need to be made now? The guy is low-key asking me not to make this video in an attempt to cover this up. That's how I take it after he answers none of my questions. I asked which ongoing lawsuit, to which I received no answer, and asked again the next day if he was referring to the NDA with Freem, and again received no answer. The thing is, none of those questions I asked had anything to do with his NDA with Freem. They were all concerning Pink. In conclusion, I would say, in the public discourse, we judge these controversies that aren't definitively proven on the character of the parties involved. We know Freem was going to come out with accusations now 100% based on court documents obtained, and that Tectone has consistently lied about this for years. When Pink and Tectone got word of these allegations, they went absolutely nuclear.
She was going to do something much worse, so bad it would have ruined all of our lives.
They defamed Freem with cheating allegations to explain Tectone's behavior, which we now know is false with receipts. They also knowingly or unknowingly filed a false police report against her for revenge. Pink sues Freem, which from what we have available is filled with Tectone's stories and interactions with Freem, which I conclude is him participating and feeding info for Pink's lawsuit. He denies encouraging Pink, but we have proof of him participating. Pink gets cheated on. Tectone lies about the breakup date to avoid responsibility, and receipts are posted proving him wrong and showing Pink saying she was scared of him. Pink accuses Tectone of abuse. Her story hasn't wavered, and currently there is an ongoing police investigation according to both Pink and Tectone. Tectone says he can.
If her story is really this consistent and there's multiple women coming out against Tectone, it's looking really bad for him. Okay? It not gonna lie, okay? I'm completely new to this whole Tectone thing, so maybe there's some part about Tectone that really absolves him of all of his crimes and whatever, right? But at the same time, if there's actual court documents, if the allegations are so serious to the point where people are suing him, right? To the point where, you know, you have multiple women that is coming out against him. Well, doesn't look so good, okay? Not gonna lie, all right?
Prove his innocence with receipts, but he never provides any, besides one on Pink paying rent, which he later gets caught lying about.
And honestly, it's really annoying because the reality is she doesn't pay rent.
Tectone threatens to sue Pink for defamation and saber rattles, but when she doesn't retract, he claims Pink knows every legal loophole. But we now know just because he isn't named doesn't mean he can't pursue, and still to this day he has yet to file a defamation case against Pink. I, while making a video on Tectone, reached out, to which he responded saying he will answer any of my questions, and then refuses to, when in my opinion he realizes how in-depth I've looked into this.
Okay, so by the way, I just want to say this, all right? I think it's good to actually reach out to the person who you're making a video on, even if they look guilty as fuck. Okay, the reason for this is because even though we shouldn't be holding YouTubers to a journalistic standard, this is still the thing that we should still be striving for, okay? When you are reaching out towards potential victims or predators or whatever the fuck, okay, you're getting all sides of the story, it's still good, all right? It shows that you're acting in good faith. It shows that you're steel manning, kind of, all right? It shows that you're willing to be fair, okay? So this is why that's good, all right? This is why I will always praise Willie Mack for reaching out to the person that he is making a video on. And lots of people hate Willie Mack, but the thing is that this is ultimately a really good practice for him to do. In addition to Willie Mack, I think Mrao Live should also be complimented on this, okay? As much as I disagree with Mrao, all right, or argue with him crashing out with me, okay, I still think it's good. I still think it's good that he reaches out. I'm a fair person, okay? I'm a fair person. I have standards. I like it when people live up to these standards, okay? I like that, all right? And no matter who it is, I'm never going to deny when something good like that happens, okay? It's really as simple as that. Yeah.
I consider Tectone a liar and a manipulator of his audience, spinning stories to attempt to escape the smallest of controversies such as cheating, to the more extreme lying in the case of his response to allegations against Pink, and how he spun the rent situation. I began making this video over the absurdity of his father's infamous rape, coupled with his own allegations, and came away with revelations of his ex-wife alleging abuse that led to false police reports, lies, and lawsuits in response to this abuse potentially becoming public. This, coupled with the ex-girlfriend's abuse allegations, are a catastrophic combination for Tectone. It is the consistent lying and content of character of the parties involved which should lead people to look at the story again with all the events and timeline in front of you to consider. That being said, cheers everyone, and thanks for watching.
Good video.